instead of my computer. Okay, you guys, well, welcome to our last and final call of March 2018. It's March Madness, and we're heading into the last home stretch of the month. And, and I want to challenge you guys to be thinking a little bit about what your vision is for these last 4 days. Has your vision gotten bigger? Has your vision gotten smaller? Have you looked at what you've accomplished so far in March and thought, well, I did the best that I could, and so I'm just going to work towards April? No, you guys, we have 4 full days left. Oops, that's my alarm that it's time for the webinar. Yes, I do need alarms on my phone. Anyway, so I want you to think about that, because I'm going to give you some month-end close tips as we go through this. But I was going back through my notes over the last 3 weeks or 2 weeks with NBP Nikki Smith and ENBP Shay Hershag, and some of the things they shared were so impactful. And really, when I go back through their training and listen to some of the key things that spoke to me, everything that they shared had to do with mindset. It had to do what you were filling your mind with, because what we fill our mind with is what expands our vision or limits our vision. What we're seeing is what's possible. Oh, I can't, have you guys heard of the term self-efficacy? I mean, that's a really big word, but you should look it up. But really, what it is that's how we increase our confidence, is with self-efficacy, because we tell ourselves we can or we can't, right? If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. Either way, you're right. I asked Tatum the other day, and she performs, and she does solos. I don't know how she does what she does. She's so brave and so talented. But I asked her, what do you think about when you're backstage? And I think I shared this before. What do you think about, like, landing your aerial and your PKs and your plies and your all these things? And she just said, she goes, I tell myself I can do it. Every time I'm standing out there and I'm backstage with my coach, I say, I can do this. You can do this, Tatum. You can do this, Tatum. And I'm thinking to myself, a lot of times when you're that little, you don't hear that you can't do that. You can't do this. That's not possible. But when you're little, you have this vision that anything is possible. And so what I want you guys to think about tonight is, what is possible in your life with this Arbonne journey? What is possible with what Arbonne can represent? And it's not just finances. It's time. It's freedom. It's flexibility. It's the relationships. It's all of those things. But at the end of the day, what do you see ending in March, and what do you see coming forth in April? Because you guys, if we talk ourselves out of what we truly hope in our heart, we all have a vision in our heart, and then we have a vision in our head. And they usually don't match up, right? Because our brain wants to get in the way. It wants to be like, no, don't think so big. No, don't think that you can hit area qual with 4 days left. No, don't think you can go first step region with 4 days left, because what if you can't? But our heart is secretly going, we can do this. We can do this. So we have to marry those two together. When I think about us as leaders in this business, whether you're a team of 1 or you're a team of 20 or whatever, I think about it as stewardship. We are actually stewards to other people that see what's possible for them, whether it's someone that's sitting in a living room when you're doing a party and they start to get that look in their eyes like, well, maybe, just maybe, this can be the hope that I had. This is something that we've been searching for, praying for. So we are all stewards, but I think to be a good steward, you have to be able to steward your own mind and your own thoughts, right? You have to be able to not let the negative fall into play. So what does that entail, you guys? It entails changing your mind, right? It's changing your mindset. Here's the thing. Okay, so I want to talk about this. If you decide whether you are raising chickens for your food or your future. So if you have someone that gave you 3 chickens and another guy gave you 3 chickens, and you thought, wow, I have food for the next few weeks, or you think, wow, I can actually help these chickens duplicate, and by the end of 3 weeks, maybe bear with me, but maybe you have 10 chickens. this guy ate all his chickens, but this guy's, you know what, I'm going to go and make more chickens, right? Because he's thinking bigger. He's thinking than what's right in front of him. And right now, you guys may be looking at what you have so far in your weekly accomplishments, focusing on those goals. Every week in my team, I'm focusing on what did you do last week? What can you, bring to fruition from last week? And what do you have in the week ahead? Focusing on your month, 1 week at a time. So he's thinking, you know what, I'm going to think about future, right? If I make more chickens, I'm going to have more food. I'm going to be able to start to sell these chickens, etc. So you guys don't sell yourself short. And then also too, in that thinking, sometimes maybe we've learned some bad skills about thinking what's possible. And so I think that we have to grow our knowledge and hone our skills like you are on this with Power Zoom. But we also have to help ourselves learn how to unlearn unhealthy skills. We have to take out the things that maybe aren't serving us. Maybe that, maybe it's someone in our life. Maybe it's someone that's a negative person that's like, that's not possible. It's not going to happen. Well, you've been doing this for so long and it's just not coming to fruition. So maybe this is just as good as it gets. No, you guys, you're looking at Carleeta Nelson's face. You're looking at ENVP, Beth Gallardi. You guys, they just stayed in it long enough and they held on to the vision. And Beth keeps reminding me of that training she heard from Debbie Neal. And what Debbie Neal said was, you have to protect your vision from anyone and everyone that wants to take it away from you. So anyone that's discouraging, and you know what? Sometimes the most discouraging person in our life is us. The most discouraging and the one that can cut off vision and what's possible and what you can do in this life and in this business is us. And that's where you have to mind your mind. And the third thing is you have to unlearn those things, but you also have to believe you can. You have to believe this is possible. You guys, I remember years ago when I was pregnant with Tatum and I wasn't really working my business. I was like just not, in a good place, and I was super sick. And I remember laying there and Carleeta called me one day and I didn't want to talk to them because I was like, no, I'm not doing anything. They know, and I'm disappointing them and stuff like that. And you know what she said to me? She said something, and I remember telling her, I don't have a crack in my belief, and if you do have a crack in your belief, you got to learn how to fill it fast. Because all of those naysayers, all of those dream stealers, a crummy month or maybe a party that doesn't pan out or whatever, it'll make that crack just chip away and it'll get bigger and bigger. So you guys have to find a way to fill that belief. And that starts with you minding your mind. And then also too, decide on what you want to accomplish in the next 4 days. Decide on what that accomplishment is. Let's say you're pushing for your district bonus. Let's say you're pushing for your area bonus or area qual. You have to decide on what accomplishment you want to happen in just the next 4 days, but also the rest of your Arbonne business. And when you decide on that, it will help you get a bigger vision. Because sometimes we just kind of, wing it. I think sometimes we wing it and then we're floundering the last few days going, oh my gosh, how can I hit my basic number? And you have to also learn to be content with where you are, but not complacent about where you are. So we're content with where we are in our business as far as our maybe our level of management, or maybe our paycheck's been consistent for the last year. It's been really helpful. Be content with that, because that's where you find gratefulness, but also don't become complacent thinking that's all there is or that's all you're capable of. And then also too, you guys, I talk about self-efficacy. So when you tell yourself you can, when you tell yourself what's possible, when you allow yourself to see bigger than what you normally do, it builds your confidence. It builds your ability to pour into someone else. If you're having this lack of vision, or you maybe don't know how to cast vision for yourself, contact your upline and say, you know what, I need a little bit of help. How can I share this in a way people see my vision? Because sometimes we're not casting a big vision for someone, so they're not joining our team. We're not casting a vision of why and how important it is for them to want to learn more about our products and how life-changing they can be for your health and your skin and your family. We're not casting a big enough vision, so they're like, I have no desire to hear about what you're sharing. The one word that Lindsay has used very consistently that keeps going through my mind, and it's been happening. I've been using it a lot, is genuinely. Like, people want to know that you're just not wanting to take from them, or you're just not wanting, they want to know that you genuinely feel passionate and have a sincere want to share this with them, whether it's the business, whether it's, even a sample, even if maybe they've said no to everything else, you're in the funnel method, and then you get to the sample and you think, oh, it's just a sample. You guys, a sample is powerful in this business if you can get somebody to say yes to that. The other thing too is you might be a little bit fearful. You might be going into the last 4 days of the month or going into April and thinking about GTC, and maybe you're going to GTC with the same management level you went before. Maybe you're going to GTC a different management level. Maybe you slid backwards. I don't know. And you're fearful and you're having all these things. I think that you have to know that that fear is real, but you also have to try to make things better. You know that this is, you might have that fear in your business. Maybe you're fearful someone's going to quit. Maybe you're fearful a party's going to cancel in the next 4 days. I don't know, but you have to be able to push that aside, know that it's okay to feel that way, but you also have to continue to try to reach for your goals. You also have to continue to try to reach out and progress your business and push your business forward. And then also too, look at everyone around you. Look at the people that are working this business, and maybe they're bringing in new consultants. Maybe they have a full calendar or whatever. When you look at that with a grateful heart, you can also see a clearer vision that it's possible for you too. It's not just them. Oh, they're lucky. Oh, they're the lucky ones. They're getting it. No, it gives you a vision to see that it's possible for you too. And we always talk about, I remember the word impossible. Oh, it's impossible. It's impossible for me. No, that word says it's possible. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, hold on one second, you guys. I think they muted. And when you start to see what's possible, you start to actually accomplish the things that you believe are possible. So it's this ripple effect. It's like a snowball that gains momentum and gets bigger and bigger as it goes down the hill, you guys. It's what you're saying and what you're doing for yourself that's going to cast that. And then also too, you guys, little wins add up. I don't know if any of you, and I'm going to talk about this video that I saw with Ashley Strong. She's a new RVP. She posted it live, and I posted it, and I'm going to talk about those things because, you guys, I will tell you, she just put on Chief Master Sergeant in the Air Force, and I was thinking about my daughter being in the military, and she was talking about what she does every single day before she gets her day started, and she talked about how she casts a vision of what she wants to accomplish that day, and I'm going to give you what she shared. But if you haven't seen it, I would definitely go on and I would definitely look at her live video because it was pretty remarkable. And then also too, you guys, I wanted to just hold on. I wrote some notes really fast. Remember that your vision isn't just for your future. It's not just for now. Like, even just you're storing up, like we talk about storing up treasures in heaven. When you can build a little bit bigger vision and a little bit bigger vision and a little bit bigger vision, it cascades into this big, huge, enormous thing that you're building for your business and your team. Maybe you're a team of 3 people, and maybe those 3 people get wind of how you're able to think, you know what, no matter how life gets, no matter how hard it is, no matter how off track I get, maybe no matter how many months I've not been working the way I'm supposed to be working, at the end of the day, you guys, it doesn't really matter. It's just what you're willing to do the next day and the next day. And that's going to lead me into what Ashley Strong shared. And I believe, honestly, God knew, like Heidi Beth said, God knew that this day was going to come. God knew Heidi wasn't going to be available. And so maybe I saw this training this morning to help me just help you cast a little bit more of what you should be focusing on. And then you guys also too, you have to decide and commit to that accomplishment. Remember, you write down and you say, what do I want to accomplish? What do I want to accomplish in the next 4 months? What do I want to do before GTC happens? Or what do I want to see happen in my business or in my paycheck? And it's okay to decide on it, but you have to commit to it. You have to commit that you have to do what it takes in order to make it happen. Because when we decide, something happens. There's a shift, but you also have to decide to commit to it. And you guys, I will tell you right now in Arbonne and everything that's going on social media, SoundCloud, YouTube, trainings, all these different things, we are inundated with choices about where to find information, how to do this business. Maybe they're like, well, my upline, this isn't working for me. I'm going to go find another way. You guys, all that does is inundate you. If you look at Carleeta, and then it goes Martha, and then it goes Nita Irwin, and so on, you guys, there is a very simple system that has worked over and over. These ladies have cast this vision years upon years. And I think sometimes we just need to sit back and go, okay, you know what? I'm going to trust the process. I'm going to trust the success that I've seen before me. I'm going to trust the tools that they're giving me. I'm going to see what's possible for me. And I'm going to look at it and go, you know what? This is what and all I need to do to be successful. Right, is to see what's possible and then follow the simple system for success that we have. I'm telling you, shiny penny. Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this virtual thing. Shiny penny. I'm going to do that. I'm going to just post on my Instagram every day for a month, and I'm going to gain all these people that want to join my business and my team. You guys, those are few and far between successes. Okay, they're few and far between. And just as many people on social media that are out there that you may be reading what you're doing, they're doing the same thing, trying to get you to follow them and see what they have to do or whatever. So at the end of the day, I want you to realize that we can be inundated with choices, and it can stop us from being fruitful. It can stop us from being successful because we're really never in a stride. And I think about when you're doing parties and you're doing them 6 to 8 consistently, workshops, get-togethers, 4 people around a breakfast bar, whatever you want to call them, it's a group presentations. It's more than one person sitting in front of you, hearing the information. When you do those over and over, you don't need to think about what to say because you are a well-oiled, trained machine, right? And when we step off the gas a little bit, we have to relearn and relearn. And so you think about Carleeta's, all of the documents the MVPs have helped put together, and Carleeta's, I mean, they're beautiful and they're amazing. They're really just the same as we've always had. They're just prettier and more colorful, and maybe they have more that's been added because more has been added to Arbonne. So you guys, simplify where you get your information so that you can focus on the most important thing. What's my mind telling me? What's my heart telling me? And what am I doing to move forward and be better every day? You guys, because I think we do get off track. And so again, you guys, don't be inundated with choices because there are a lot of them out there. And you know what? I think a little bit of all of them are good. But you guys, really the basics thing that we do is 6 to 8 group presentations, getting in front of 40 faces. It's one and the same, you guys. It's one and the same. If you're having 6 to 8 group presentations, you're getting in front of 40 faces. If you're having 2 to 4 and doing one-on-ones, you're getting in front of 40 faces. It's one and the same, but it's what they have been doing for years and years and years. So I want you to not only look at vision as, okay, bigger picture, what's possible? What can I do for my family? What can I do to save, to do the thing that I've always wanted to do, to open up a center for youth or whatever the case may be? That's big vision. But also having the short-sighted vision to pay attention to the simple fact that if you plug into this system that they have done for years and years and years, you will be successful. And you have to also grab onto the vision of your leaders. So you guys, I want to go into this because I think it's really important. You know how we talked about the 6 most important things in a day that we do? We used to write them down the night before. We're supposed to spend 15 minutes of focus, writing down what the most important things are. I think what we always do, what I have an inherent nature to do, is put the big things off first. I do the little things because I think that's going to be, I think we have to bite off the big things. But the way Ashley Strong put it into perspective, she said, my 5 non-negotiable things that I wake up and want to focus on every single day. What are your non-negotiables? Like, you know, I know, Carleeta, it's faith. family. You know what I mean? We have, I know, you know, those things. So what she talked about is her 5, and you might be able to resonate with this, but you guys, I think it's a really good thing. And then I want to teach you how to put down your vision statement. What is important to you in this business? What is inherent to you in your personality, and what you want to people to understand who you are in Arbonne, and how do you write a vision statement to go out and pay that forward. So when you're sharing with people, they get a crystal clear idea of your heart. They get a crystal clear idea of why you're excited about this, and they get a crystal clear vision of what you want them to receive from this. So her high, she called it a high 5, but hers was serve my God. What can I do for my husband during this day to serve him? My team, because she's obviously in the Air Force and she has a military team that she runs, her health and wellness business, which is Arbonne, and then her personally. So she has these top 5. So I really want you to think about what are the top 5 most important things for you to focus on every single day. You know, if you guys have not read that book, Make Your Bed, it's by a Navy SEAL. It's a guy that actually he spoke, and I can't think of his name. I have it over on my bed, but he was like, you know what? Sometimes we get up and we flounder through a day and we really don't ever get anything accomplished. He goes, but if you wake up and make your bed, at least you know accomplish one positive thing for the day, you know? So I can show you my bed. It's made. I've been focusing on that, but just little steps. And this is what she says in this. You guys remember when we were little and we used to be able to plan our Barbie house, and we used to play with our dolls, and we had this big granary. We used to think about what would our wedding look like and what would our wedding dress look like. And we had these big visions. Like, you know, I listen to Tatum sometimes share about some of the things that, you know, she can accomplish. And she just won a second place for junior title for dance. And you guys, all these girls that the top 5 that won, she was number 2, all of them only dance. She is in musical theater. She's in vocal. She does company kids. So she is like getting a third of the training that these girls are getting. But she goes out there and she believes it's possible. She's like, I want that crown. And I was like, what crown? She's like, the crown. You get a crown when you get the title. And I'm like, it's a crown. She goes, I know, but I want it. And, you know, and so she goes out there and just leaves it out on the dance floor every single time. And she comes off and she's like, okay, what's my next thing? You know, she just doesn't have any barriers. And I think that's what happens sometimes is we develop barriers when we get hurt in life, or we think, well, it's just not happening for me. But we get to choose what our life looks like. There's nothing else out there, I believe, other than a business like ours that allows you to choose what your life looks like. I always talk about that empty picture frame. You know, so you guys, and this is another thing, those top 5 things, those 6 things, the most important things you need to do for your business, envision what they are for your next day. And then you guys don't wake up and just roll the dice. When we don't know where we're going, it's like setting goals. If you don't set goals and write down what you want, it's like putting a blindfold on and pulling a bow and arrow and expecting to hit a target. It's rolling the dice. You're praying that you're going to get double 6s, but you don't know, right? So her top 5. And the one thing that I love more than anything that she said was, does your effort match your desire? Because we can have big dreams, we can have big vision, but does your effort match what it takes to make that desire, that vision come true? So really only you know what your effort is and what your dream is. Hold on, so I just want to make sure everyone's muted. Okay. All right. So I can hear someone. Okay, you guys, hold on. And little steps lead to a life of abundance. You guys, it's not the big giant steps that we take. It's the little steps every single day consistently that lead to a life of abundance. So what is your vision? Are you saying, oh, I only did these 2 things? Celebrate 2 things that you did. We all know that we need to do more. We all know that we need to do more, but celebrate the little things. And I love that so much. The other thing she said was her goal every single day is to be better the next day. She said, no matter what I did, no matter how successful I was in every area of my life, her goal and vision for the next day was to be better than the day before. And these are the words that she used. Be better, be elevated, be anew, be changed, be different. You guys, think about it. Those are the things that I think all of us should strive for. And then the other thing that she said is, the question was, how do I have a life of abundance? How do we paint that vision for ourselves? She said, celebrate the small things. She said, this is how you create a life of abundance. Number one, she says, it's not motivation that's the key to success, it's discipline. It's not motivation that's the key to success. It's discipline. You guys, I wrote these this morning. This God is so good. So we create a life of abundance when we decide, when we're disciplined, when we're committed. And someone is not muted. Oh, here we go. Okay, so motivation is not the key to success. Discipline is. You guys, discipline is. And you know, it's so funny. I was saying something. I think I said this to Carleeta one time. I'm not very disciplined in that. She goes, girl, you're disciplined. Look what you do when you go to the gym, or what you do with your food, or whatever the case may be. So like, we are all disciplined. When we do the same things, when we're faithful, when we have stuff on our schedule and on our calendar that we do faithfully, you guys, that's discipline. So Arbonne should be no different. Your Arbonne business should be no different. Right? So think about that. If you have discipline in other areas of your life, you can be disciplined in this too. It's a decision. It's a commitment. So, and she said, to live a life of abundance, you have to be disciplined and you have to be consistent. You have to be disciplined and you have to be consistent. When this happens and you celebrate those tiny steps, every tiny step, and discipline and commitment and consistency, what happens is things start to change. Your vision starts to change. I added that. Your surroundings, your relationships, your marriage, your business, and you. And when those things start to come to fruition and those things start to change, I always called it the mirror effect. When you're in this relationship or you're frustrated with someone that you love and care about, and you're like, I'm not going to apologize. I'm not going to be the one that's going to make the first step. Neither are they. So when you do, it's the mirror effect. You'll get a little bit from them. And then you're going to soften and you're going to soften. So the mirror effect in your business too is a little bit. You're going to get a little return on that investment. And then you're going to be like, oh, maybe this does work. Okay, and you get excited. How many of you, raise your hand, because the ones that are on, how many of you get excited when someone says, yes, they want to do the 30-day, or yes, they want to buy, try a sample, or yes, that's a success. Celebrate it. Even if you only have one, it's still a success. You guys, I just signed up a girl for the 30-day. I posted that thing on my Facebook about a fit group. I'm going to do kind of a fit group like I did with Carleeta and them. And I'm like, how can I make this 30-day? Like, there's people that have gone through the 30-day. I met her one time when Tatum did a thing at Disneyland, and she's been watching my Facebook for over a year. She messaged me. I private messaged her. We had a long conversation. She goes, I really think I should do the 30-day first and then go down that road. You guys, I met her one time, but I just, we've always commented on everything. So anyways, I wanted to tell you that's a success. It excites me. It excited me. You know what I mean? Because it's possible. So the other thing that she said, and you guys, vision is a part of this, you guys. Each and every one of you, I want you guys to raise your hand. I love how you guys all raise your hand. I want you to raise your hand if you guys know something that you're uber good at, like you're so good at it. Doesn't mean if it's pouring into other people, if it's being artistic, if it's like lifting other people up, if it's praying for other people. What are you good at? Raise your hand. Everybody know your gift. Okay? So, you guys, she said this. God has given every single one of us a gift. He envisioned what we would do with that gift for other people one day. And she said, we all have a gift and some of us don't use it. And it is our obligation to share it with the world. And she said, you guys, I thought this was so powerful. She said, don't be greedy with it. Because being greedy with your personal gift, you all raised your hand. She said, when you're greedy with it and when you keep it in, she calls it greedy potential. Greedy potential, you guys. Every gift that you have, you should be using that to your fullest advantage in your Arbonne business. You should be using it when you're reaching out to people. You don't need to be a Carleeta Nelson, or you don't need to talk like me. You don't need to talk like Lindsay, or you don't need, we all have our gifts. And when you just tap in and you freely give your God-given gift and talent with other people, it's natural, it's real, it's believable, and people want more of it. So utilize it. That is a gift that you can pour into your business and your team like not anyone else on this call, not one other face that you see can do what you individually can do. So I want you to think about that. So I don't know about you, but what are you going to do when you get off this call? What are you going to do? And I'm going to bring up this sheet real quick, but you guys, I want to just, hold on one second. I want to just tell you guys that, wait one second. That's not going to work. Hold on one second, you guys. And this is going to seem so boring compared to what I just shared with you, but that's okay. But I just want you guys to know that there's no magic fairy dust in Arbonne. There's no special look or style or any of those things. It really does boil down to what she shared. It's discipline and commitment and consistency. And when you have that and you do those little things every single day, your vision gets bigger to what's possible. Every single time someone says yes, whether it's a sample, even if they respond to a text message, that's a win. Because how many times do you send text messages, or you message someone on Facebook, or you leave them a voicemail and it's like crickets? You're like, hello, they read it, right? Even when someone responds, it's still a win. You guys learn to celebrate those little victories, because every time you do, it fills your heart with a little bit more hope of what's possible with this business. And you guys, it really, truly is. We are the only people that stand in our way. And I was thinking about what Shay said last week, and then I'm going to just talk about a few things you can do to just make sure you're helping your team close out. She said, God would not put a dream on your heart if he did not already equip you to make it come true. So when you have those big hopes and those big dreams and those things that come up and you think, what if, but you're so afraid to even go there because maybe you're not moving as fast in this business, or maybe you're still at your job full time and you can't see walking away. You guys, don't stifle it. Use that as your tool to grow your belief. Use it as your tool to, vision and belief are the same thing, you guys. Vision and belief truly are, sorry guys. Vision and belief, that's my daughter in South Korea. She'll call again, but I'll call her back. But anyways, vision and belief really truly go hand in hand, because you can't have big vision if you don't have belief. And without belief, you can't cast vision. So they really too go hand in hand. So what are you going to do the rest of March? And what are you going to do the rest of the year? Are you going to systematically pour into yourself? Because you guys, we're the easiest person to chop ourselves off at the knees, and we're the easiest person that can lift ourselves back up out of that. Not someone else. And she said motivation is not the key to success. Because I think sometimes, so I need motivation. I need to get on this call because I need motivation. Or I hope something will motivate me. Nothing's going to motivate you unless you want to do it. But discipline will. And that's that 5 things. So the 5 key things, and I can post my notes for Carleeta if you want to. I can post them on everybody's Facebook. But I kind of went through that video and posted it for my team. But you guys, we do have something important to talk about at the very end of the call, but I wanted to share this with you. And Beth and I were brainstorming. I'm like, I don't know what to do for this call. She goes, you'll be fine. But anyways, you guys, this is an Arbonne tool. It's on Carleeta's website. It is really something that we should work on every single day. at the end of the month, to know that we're not only doing everything we can do for our team to maximize every single month, but also to make sure we're not leaving anyone in our team out. New business builders, maybe people that just don't know what they're doing yet. Maybe they just don't know how to navigate. So this tells you exactly where you go. You can look at my team reports in my office, or you can go in the My Office app to find your stats for the following. You can look up preferred rewards, make sure all your preferred clients have use their rewards, but also too, you guys, remind your team. Sometimes we get short-sighted and we're like, oh, I just need to make sure my PCs. Guys, no, remind your team, hey, what PC has who, what are the PCs in your downline that has words? Copy and paste this verbiage and text it to them, or give them a call, or whatever the case may be. Voxer them, whatever works. Promotion and bonus boosters, you guys. Who's close to bonusing? Who's close to promotion? Who needs that 150 order, et cetera, you guys. So you can print this off and check it out. Renewals. Now they're sending out those email for renewals and stuff like that, you guys, but we should also be checking and making sure that everybody's close to making sure that they don't lose their PC or their consultant status. Your bonuses, DM and area bonus, make sure you understand those. You know, it's 5,005 for district, and that's anyone in your district. 20,010 new preferred clients or consultants with the 150 order. So that's how you're going to get those bonuses. Maybe you see someone on your team that's at 18,000 and they have 9 new. Remind them. Maybe they need to know that they're close to making that $400 bonus. Qualifications and promotions, what are they? Who's in qualification? Who's supposed to be finishing? You guys, you might be thinking, I don't know any of this. That's fine. Talk to your upline area or upline RVP, and they'll be able to map it out for you. You guys, here's the thing. A part of Vision 2 is being able to say, I don't know, and I need help, so I can help the other people see what they need to do as well. And that's where you need to reach out. You know, as you grow bigger in this business, you have more people and there's more things going on, and it's not for us not wanting to know what's going on with everyone in our downline. It can be a lot. So ask, reach out, send a text, send a Facebook message, send an email. Hey, I'm not quite sure about this. I think I have this. I mean, you know, I'm on the MVP page, you guys, and those NVPs ask questions about qualifications and new promotions, and they're asking too. So it's not abnormal to ask. Don't feel silly, but you guys, in order for you to learn, you have to ask. There's no dumb question. And then your 150 PQV, so that's for your qualifying volume for you to get paid, et cetera, et cetera. Monthly promotions, and that's where you can go through and kind of look through. But everything in your performance account, that's there as well. And if you look at this document, it tells you, where do you find out? Well, who on my team is close to performance? There's a lot of performance account changes that have happened in 2018, so it's not operating like it has in the past. So make sure you understand it. Make sure you know how to help your team so that they know where they are. The other thing too is, if you don't know, ask. Beth Gallardi is like the numbers policy queen, and I'm always like, oh, Beth, I don't know, I need help, and she helps me. So you guys, I'm always asking you guys. But again, the 30-day video that I did, there's a 30-day video out there. How many people can you send that out to today and work through getting their order for Monday? I know I'm a little bit over, you guys, and I'm sorry, but how can you, you know, think about it. You could have 5 new people join that April 2nd boot camp. You still have time to get that done. That's another $2,500 in volume, or whatever the case may be. Well, 5 is 3, almost $2,000 in volume if you're getting, you know, if they're getting anything else in there. So at the end of the day, you guys, it's what you're willing to do, and it's all the reach out methods. It's following up PC rewards. Every 150 order that they get to get their PC rewards and their free shipping or whatever the case may be, that all adds up. And if we're doing all of these things consistently, it can really change your month end. Even if you just do the policies that are in place. Not anything extra, just the things that we should be doing every single day to close the month out successfully. So the biggest thing is what do you guys see for yourself? What do you see that's possible? What do you see that you want to accomplish in 2018? You guys, you have to see it, but you also have to verbalize it. You also have to tell someone. And what I want you to do is I want you to think about, and I'm going to post my notes in order, and I'll post them on there, but I'm going to post the steps because we're over for writing your own vision statement. It's a mission statement, but it's a vision statement. And it's a thing that you can come back to when you're struggling, or wait, why am I doing this again? why am I subjecting myself to the no's and things like that, or the cancellations? Because you have big vision for yourself and for your family and for other people. You guys, this is not about us. It is not about me. It's not about you. It's about who else on this call needs to hear what we have. And how do we cast a vision for them to be on this call next time we have this call? That's what it's about. It's about casting vision for other people. But it starts with belief and it starts with commitment on your part. So thank you for bearing with me. I know I was kind of all over the place, but at the end of the day, I just kind of spoke from my heart and used a message that I heard from church and kind of threw it all together. I love you. Thank you so much. I'm going to go through the notes, but you guys have an amazing Wednesday. We have so much time left in March, and we're going into April. GTC is right around the corner, you guys. It's 3 weeks away. Oh, but before I forget, I'm going to say goodnight. You guys should have a week jam-packed, 10 days. You should be booking for all the new stuff that's coming out. That's another thing you can do to solidify closing out April strong. I love you guys so much. I'm so glad that we got to spend this month together, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen in the future.